This is a Glass Box Media podcast.
Welcome to My Worst Date. I'm Cassie.
I'm Keegan.
I'm Christina. We have a lot of stuff to talk about.
Yeah.
So in the pop culture world right now, there's the Vanderpump Rules cheating scandal, which none of us know about.
I used to be heavy Vanderpump Rules.
Yeah.
When I tell you that I used to watch which I think anybody who's been listening to us for a long time knows that I'm heavy
Real Housewives
into that stuff.
Yeah.
Haven't watched it since the pandemic because I just couldn't see people living their lives in a quote unquote reality in which none of us could leave our houses.
Yeah.
Right.
So it just pissed me off. I'm like, no.
I'm not above reality TV. I think everybody knows that. Like, I'm not above it, but it has always been a thing where I need to be detached, even though I know that like Real Housewives of Beverly Hills is like one of the most wild ones. I can't bring myself to watch it. Like any reality TV show that takes place in LA, I can't watch. Like there's just something. So like Vanderpump Rules, I was like, I can't do it. I got to stick to my Atlantas, my New Jerseys. You know what I mean? Like I can't be in LA. It feels too close.
I lived down the street from Pump. For years.
I mean, you're still right around the corner.
Yeah, I'm still really close. But
please don't stalk Christina.
Yeah, no, I just we'll keep an eye on developments, and for people that watch Vanderpump Rules, if you want to educate us on the secret
someone
Facebook,
give me the Spark Notes, please?
Yes,
yeah, like
we would appreciate.
I need.
I don't know who Raquel is, so I know the Toms. I don't even know which Tom we're talking about in this scenario.
Yeah, I have no idea. Someone named Ariana is involved as well. I don't know. But other pop culture news that I do know about is the Selena Gomez, Hailey Bieber drama.
Now listen,
okay,
I haven't been keeping up with this as much as I'm
shocked, actually.
As the internet would think. The internet is also shocked because it keeps suggesting things to me. And all I know is that I love Selena Gomez. That's all I know. And I know that
everyone has agreed with you.
And I know that she gained 1 million followers and Hailey Bieber and Kylie Jenner both lost 1 million followers.
And they're crying into their $100 bills. But
I mean, they still have like 20 million followers. So it's like not,
you're fine.
They're doing okay. I would wager to say, but I don't really know a lot of the details. I know some eyebrow stuff was involved.
Yes.
But I thought that Selena Gomez and Hailey Bieber were on the road to recovery.
I did too. I thought the beef was done.
Hailey had gone on Call Her Daddy, I think, back last year and said, no, we're good. There's no ill will. But then, Selena posted a pic saying, I think my brows were too laminated, that kind of thing. And then like 40 minutes later, Hailey and Kylie post a thing of just their eyebrows. And so like people were reading into that.
Real mean girl bully behavior.
And then the one that really bothers me is Selena has been very vocal about putting on some weight from her lupus medication, which is like, it's a thing. And I think she's beautiful.
She looks great.
And
she looks beautiful.
Yeah,
and even if it wasn't from her medication, she's a grown woman now.
Exactly.
People's bodies change. Like you're not like not
so
everybody.
Listen to this. This will set your face on fire.
Okay.
They're lip syncing I'm not saying she deserved it, but God's timing is always right
about her gaining weight.
That's so.
Isn't that disgusting?
That's really gross. Why would they think that would go over well either?
And honestly, and what has she done to quote unquote deserve anything?
Right.
Like what has she has never come for Hailey. It's from that I have seen.
If it all comes from the fact that she used to date
It's childish.
Face. That's so.
Then you're not mature enough to be married. If you are holding on to some petty, weird ex-girlfriend shit. Mm-hmm. I mean, either that or Justin is actively making you feel inferior because to Selena. Because like, why would you continue? You've been married to him for a long time now. Like they've been married for years.
Honey,
and it's just like,
quote unquote won. Like
you got him. You got him. So
congrats.
I don't.
Good for you.
I don't know. I don't understand.
But the other weird thing too is like how many things like the tattoo thing is what
There's
gets
so
me.
many
what
things
is that?
she does that. Okay, so there the copycatness. Like there's like Selena has done something and then suddenly she does it. The videos on TikTok are just they're all over the place.
She's like trolling her?
She did so she did a cooking show, right? Selena had her cooking show.
Selena and Chef.
She brought her grandparents on. It was the cutest little thing. So Hailey Bieber has a cooking show and brings her grandparents on. It's
sorry.
like literally.
No, but the tattoo.
The tattoo.
Selena has a tattoo that she got. I think it's a G.
Yes.
Or whatever, and it's for her sister. Hailey Bieber got the exact same tattoo in the exact same
spot.
place.
Same letter G.
Yeah.
But she says it's for somebody that they know from their church, like somebody's daughter, like Grace or something.
Okay.
It just is
Why
like,
are
okay,
you getting
you
a
get the
tattoo of
same
some congregant? Like, I don't understand.
Yeah, it's
like
That's
she's
weird.
sick, I guess.
Strange.
Like I don't know the whole story. I just know
A
that
neck tattoo is a bold place to put someone's initial
Well,
that
it's
you're not
behind the ear.
directly
Yeah.
related to. Yeah, I don't know. I don't understand this kind of like petty behavior. Like they've both moved on. Everybody's moved on or should have moved on.
Yeah,
It's
literally
been years.
you're married to him. Like what?
what. Yeah, what are you trying to accomplish
I don't know. Do you
here?
think it
Makes
comes
sense.
from? Do you think it comes from fans? Like always comparing the two of them? Because I mean, that is something
maybe.
that's happened forever, and
Sure.
people do very obviously prefer
They're so
Selena and
totally,
you know.
two totally different people. It's easy to prefer Selena because she's an actual celebrity who does things.
A talented,
Right. Well,
very
it's
talented
just
person.
She actually does media things, right? Like, so she has a show. She's in a TV show, and it's a very popular TV show. And she's a singer. She has like
Well, and
things to be a fandom
people
of.
grew up with her too.
Yeah.
Like,
Yeah.
I mean, of course they're going to feel a way about that. I mean, and look, I'm just a little too old. I'm just like barely too old for this to have affected me this way.
Yeah.
But like for people who are a little bit younger than me, like they grew up with those two as like big stars. So when those two got together, meaning Selena and
I
and
was like,
Justin,
Hailey?
No,
Like-
Justin Bieber and Selena
Yes.
Gomez got together.
That was
it was
big.
like they're like Brad and Jen. You know what I mean? Like it was huge.
It was their Britney and
Justin. Yeah,
it was absolutely their Britney
huge.
and Justin.
So I mean,
Yeah.
of course, it makes sense that people are always going to like cling to that, like because it's just so hardwired in their nostalgia brain that they
Sure.
are clinging to it.
They're clinging to a
so
lore.
it's Hailey Bieber's responsibility to
Be above it.
be above it and ignore it, know that it's going to happen, be mature enough to say like, oh, you know, it's okay. People can say whatever they want, but this is my relationship. Because she also kept bringing it up on TikTok and stuff too,
Right.
where it was just like, I understand that this is affecting you, but you have like
Let it go.
20 million followers on platforms. You have to know you're going to get negative comments. Don't look at them then.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Figure
And-
it out.
And literally,
Have somebody else, deal with your.
That's
Yeah.
not what people are
Social
following
media
you for.
stuff.
Is for the drama. They're not. They came to follow you for a different reason, I would imagine.
Well, they might be following for the drama now.
Yeah, now.
Yeah, I'm interested, and I'm
I follow none of these
definitely
people.
too old for the whole Selena and Justin thing. But yeah, for me, I don't like bullying, and I just I felt a need. So now TikTok's like, well, you were interested in this, learn everything about it. So it's
Yes.
definitely been a rabbit hole I've been in this past week.
No, I mean, I feel like to me, what I always think about when I see stuff like this is just, are people like Hailey Bieber and Kylie Jenner so divorced from reality that they would think that that would go over well? Like, because I'm just like, how did you not know that like this was going to blow up in your face?
and I mean, it's still. I mean, at the end of the day, she's still a Baldwin married to Justin Bieber. And
She's
I'm
fine.
Like, she's fine.
Yeah.
Kylie Jenner's fine.
They're fine.
So.
Nothing we say is really going to
No.
damage their
No.
like.
But the other thing is like, Kylie, do you really need to be involved in this? Is this the
Yeah.
is this the
It's
look?
weird, isn't
Is
it?
this the look you? I mean,
Yeah.
I mean, I
it's
hope
fine to
for
be friends
younger
with- yeah.
listeners and stuff like that. I mean, aspire to be a Selena.
Yeah.
You know?
Yeah.
Like somebody that's out there like doing stuff, and she hasn't really like commented or done anything.
She
And
really hasn't. She has not fueled the fire at all.
She
She's really kind of.
commented before about, because she has been pretty transparent about like, I mean, she was off social media for a long time.
Yeah.
Like left social media for a long time, came back to social media, and then she did make a video addressing like people who were saying, like talking about her weight gain, not just on social media, but like
so
in
mean.
the media. Right. And so that's when she got on there and she's just like, I can't imagine like bullying someone about their body, period, but especially when it's a side effect of like of a medication that I need to be on
to live.
you know?
Live.
Yeah.
No, and as somebody that's had in the past few years a pretty sizable weight gain, it's like I really don't need you to comment on it. I'm
Trust
very
me, I
aware
know.
of what my body is going through right now, and so
The last thing I need is you to tell me.
comments are not helpful or appreciated.
No.
So it's just like I think that's what rubbed me so wrong about that whole thing. Just feels very Mean Girls, very like high school to me. Ugh.
Yeah. Well, if you've never tried Selena Gomez's makeup brand Rare Beauty, take this opportunity to go do that because she has really good products.
There you go.
And we're not getting paid by her. So
Yeah. I mean, somebody else having a bad week too. King Charles.
oh,
I can't get used to saying King Charles.
I know.
Charles.
It's just like, it sounds like we're talking about somebody from
About the
like
dog?
A dog.
1800.
Yes.
I would much
King
rather
Charles
be talking
Spaniel or
about
whatever.
the dog.
They're very cute. Honestly.
Yeah, they're
the dogs
so cute.
are very cute. And King Charles not as cute.
I need a running list of every single person that said no.
Nah,
I
to
don't want to
performing at his coronation. I mean, we know off the top of our head, we know Adele, which of course she was like, I got other shit to be doing. Absolutely not.
Man, so busy. What day was that again?
Yeah.
No, I definitely have
No,
plans.
I'm actually booked for the foreseeable future.
Yeah,
Ed
every
Sheeran-
single day.
Ed Sheeran was a hell nah. Spice Girls.
I mean, the Spice Girls.
The
They're
Spice
not
Girls.
even like, they're not even doing anything, are they, right now? Like,
I mean, I think Mel B was just on a reality show.
yeah, like, I don't think they're
like-
even together. Like, that was a bold move. He's like, you know what? If you guys wouldn't mind coming back together.
Yeah. I mean, they did tour recently,
yeah.
like ish in the last like however many years.
Yeah.
So, I mean, I don't know. And if it had been a beloved monarch, maybe they would have gotten back together to do it. But it's like,
It would have to be Prince Henry at this point, I think, for anybody to come together.
well,
Or are you talking about Harry?
Or that's what I meant.
Prince Henry was very like, ooh.
Oh, I was like, who's
Harry.
that?
Okay.
And you're like, who he?
I like a Henry.
And even then, I don't know because Harry is polarizing over there.
Really?
Yeah.
Oh, in England.
In
I
England.
see. I see.
Yeah.
But who else?
We got Adele, Harry Styles, Robbie Williams,
Harry Styles, my guy. Really?
Elton John.
Wait, you're shocked that Harry Styles is out?
That Harry Styles doesn't want to perform at King Charles's coronation?
I'm shocked that somebody
would he?
asked.
Oh
Yeah.
no,
Yeah,
I thought you were shocked that he said no. I was
No,
like, what are you
I'm
talking
saying,
about?
why
would he?
Why would they even ask him?
Oh, I
like,
get it.
then-
Who's
That's
the
your shock.
person in
I got
charge
it.
of asking? You literally asked Elton John, who wrote a song to play at Princess Diana's
Thank you.
funeral.
knew
Thank
her
you.
personally. I think that
you.
they were like,
Thank
They
you.
were homies, who was like, you know who we should ask? Elton John.
He's like, I'm actually no, thank you.
a hard pass on that one. Yeah.
He's like, I will not be there.
I'm not
Oh
I'm not
my
incorporating that into my farewell tour. We're not doing it.
I mean, I kind of want to talk to the person that's in charge of booking because that's pretty fearless to go.
The person in charge of booking is a Gen Zer for sure. This person is like, throw it all against the wall.
I think they're
and
throwing
see
everything against the wall.
What sticks?
Yeah.
They're like, they don't know her.
They're
they
throwing
don't know
darts at
anything. They're just like,
posters of
"Ooh,
famous
you know who else is
Brits."
famous? You know who else is famous is Elton John. Let's ask him. You know, like they're no clue.
That's actually a good British accent.
Wait,
I will not do
You wanna
mine.
try it? Yeah.
No. No, but that's for me. I'm like, at this point, it's become such a story of all the people that have said no. I'm like, who is actually going to say yes?
They did say
Yeah.
Kylie Minogue is performing.
No,
I saw. Yeah,
really?
they were talking about that on the Daily Zeitgeist.
That's
she said
weird.
yes, isn't it? Let's see. Okay, who else?
So who said yes?
Let's see.
Yeah.
Kylie Minogue, that is a weird one. Because you wouldn't think, wait, isn't she... Okay, question. Isn't she from Australia?
Yes,
Okay.
it is weird.
Yeah.
Okay, who is performing? Andrew Lloyd Webber. That
Oh, that is...
I hate
also...
dun 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 dun.
Jellica.
And Lionel Richie.
Oh, that is so weird,
That is
sir.
Why is
That's
Lionel.
all they could get. That is
Is it
all
me
they could
that
get.
you're looking for?
It was.
I guess it was.
so.
They needed somebody to say yes.
Man.
Wow. Yeah.
The no's make sense. The
Yeah.
yeses don't really though.
Well, except for Andrew Lloyd
Andrew
Webber does
Lloyd
make
Webber
perfect
makes
sense.
all
Like,
the
he
sense.
makes so much sense. Who
He
is
really
Robbie
is-
Williams?
Robbie Williams did that
He
song.
did a Babylon. I think that song. Do you know what I'm talking about?
I do.
I don't think that's him. I think Robbie Williams did that song. Remember where they go around the skating rink?
The skating rink.
The skating rink. You get around the skating rink. He does and then he starts taking off the clothes, and you're like, oh, that's fucking hot.
I have no
and then
idea
he
what you're
starts
talking
taking
about.
his skin off, and you're like, oh shit.
Oh, I do know what you're talking
Yeah.
about. Yes,
What
I
is
recall.
the song?
He's
Rock
got,
DJ. Here,
Rock
I'll play it for you guys real quick. You'll have to cut this out, but
it's ringing no bells for me.
it's
No.
a very specific era.
Yeah,
And it
okay.
happened at a very specific time, like when I was in high school, I believe.
Okay.
This is we're talking 97-ish.
Well, I don't know who this
So-
man is, and he said no.
And he said, no, I'm busy.
So
very, very popular, I think, in the UK. But he had
Yeah.
a big hit here, like a real big one-hit wonder here. But yeah.
yeah, I mean, what else are they gonna fill? I've look. Queen Elizabeth was queen for a long time. I haven't seen a coronation. What are they going to fill the rest of the time with?
Yeah.
Like,
I
there's
don't
only
know.
3 acts.
Court oils.
Jesters. Somebody jugglies.
Incense. I don't know. Is that involved? That feels like a thing that would be involved.
Somebody's going to joust.
gosh.
I don't
Yes.
know.
Oh,
very-
yeah. Medieval times.
A lot of turkey legs going on.
Ren Fair vibes. Amazing. Well, I actually think that we should FMK then the people that said, fuck no, I'm not doing it.
Okay.
Who said no to King Charles' coronation? We got some Adele.
Listen, Robbie Williams is hot.
You know what? I
don't
think
know
you're
anything-
right.
But I don't know anything about him. So
He said no, and I think that's all we need to know, right?
I feel like he's not the Babylon singer.
No.
Who sang that song?
no idea.
Babylon.
Oh, I think he's good looking. I think Robbie Williams is super good looking.
Yeah, he's not bad.
Yeah. He looks like a soccer coach.
He looks like a
He
soccer
looks
coach.
like a hotter Joaquin Phoenix.
Oh, totally. Yeah.
Yeah, he's a good looking guy.
He's super good looking.
All right, we can go Robbie Williams. We'll go
Adele for sure.
Adele and Ed Sheeran then.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
I like that.
Okay.
That's a good round
It is.
number.
It is.
This is hard.
This is tough. This is really tough.
I am not into Ed Sheeran's music
Me
that
neither.
much.
Not even a little bit.
But I do like that he seems to have a good sense of humor about himself.
I do. I actually, every interview, I feel like people give Ed Sheeran a really hard time.
Yeah?
Every interview I've ever seen him in, he seems great. Like, I don't know. He just seems like
he seems funny.
he seems chill.
I'm not attracted
funny.
to him. I'm going to say it.
Yeah.
Do I think he'd be fun as a friend? Probably. He seems like a fun guy to hang around. I think that we should fuck, marry, friend this crew.
Okay.
Because these people are all good people. They've all said no.
I don't know. That's the thing. I don't know enough. I get very sketch. I'm going to be really honest on mic right now. I get a little nervous about
when we don't know that much about
when
musicians.
of a certain age, especially when I don't know a lot about you
Oh,
and your
gosh.
politics. That I'm like, I don't know. I hesitate to be like, yes, I want to like marry or fuck Robbie Williams, because I'm like, what if he's like a Brexiter or something? Like, you know what I mean? I'm like, I don't know.
Disclaimer:
nothing.
we don't know.
We don't know anything about this man.
Their views,
So-
politics, or anything. We're
Yeah.
going off of.
Pure looks and one song.
Right. Yes. And for me, not even the song.
Yeah.
A very questionable music video.
During our break, I'm
And-
definitely going to show you that video because you're going to be
I've seen that part of the video.
Oh.
So okay. All right. Well,
I appreciate Adele and Lizzo and their friendship.
and they're both Tauruses. I love
Mm-hmm.
that. Here's the thing. I would marry Adele, but part of me is like,
It'd be
girl-
so good for you. Pisces and Taurus. That's a real good
I
match.
love it. And I'm a Taurus rising. I love it. But I'm like, part of me is like, girl, you just got single. I want you to get out there and just enjoy your time right now. But okay, provided she's enjoyed her time and she's ready to settle down again, I'm going to marry Adele.
Yeah.
I do feel like she's
Power
so
couple.
talented, and she's
So talented.
She would ground me. I feel like I think that she's
The ballad she would
beautiful.
write for you.
Oh my God, my heart. Yes. We'd get invited to lots of fancy things that involve fancy dresses,
Yep.
which would be really fun for me. I also love her specific English accent.
Yes.
It's
Yes.
so good. I love her. I love her. I'm going to marry Adele.
Robbie Williams is an Aquarius. I just wanted you to know.
No, that's right.
Interesting.
February 13th.
Okay. Oh, he's a Valentine's baby almost. Okay. I mean, I'm going to, I'll risk it. I'll fuck Robbie Williams.
Yeah.
I'll risk that. I feel like Cassie's showing us pictures of Ed Sheeran. I think everyone's really
He
mean
is
to him.
also
an
an
Aquarius.
February 17th.
Okay.
Interesting.
I'm going to be honest. I think everyone gives Ed Sheeran a really hard time. I don't think he's that unattractive. Everybody's like, he looks like a troll or whatever. I don't think so.
Nobody said that here. I
Not
think that
here.
you're projecting.
No, I've literally heard people say that. Literally, people say that. People are mean to him online.
And
They're so mean to
People
him.
are mean in
going
general.
to marry him.
Yeah.
I do well with water signs.
It's
Oh, he's an air sign.
Oh, air sign. He's Aquarius.
Yeah.
Oh.
I mean, it's Tony.
Anthony's an Aquarius.
Yeah. Fun.
Yeah.
This is really
Yeah,
going to work
it
out
would-
well for me.
It would be fun, but yeah. I mean,
You need more serious. I think you and Adele. I
think
feel
so.
that for you.
I think so. I think that's probably
When you
the
talk about
smartest
power
choice.
couple, I'm like, that's the fucking power couple
Cap
right there. Are you
Taurus.
kidding? Are you kidding? Everything will
Yeah.
be so perfectly organized.
That's probably the right
Yeah.
decision is marrying Adele. And then yeah, you got to fuck Robbie Williams is kind of the most fuckable of the
He's
bunch.
the most fuckable. Yeah, he at least straight up on looks.
Look
he's the most-
like you fuck good. kind of energy.
Yes, he does. Yeah.
But you
Looks
don't
like his
want
expensive
to
sheets.
you don't want to marry a formerly successful musician.
I think he's
don't
still
think.
successful.
Is he?
Yes, he has a new album out. Like that's what I'm saying. Like I think he's very popular in the UK.
Yeah.
Oh, okay.
But
Yeah.
he does give me vibes of like somebody who is famous, who like knows their and like living. I just get energy where I'm like, I don't think I want to be married to you.
Yeah.
Like there's
Yeah.
an energy there where I'm just like, I think that I get vibes that he probably still fucks 20-year-olds. You know? So I'm like, I don't want to marry you. But
I kind of feel like he's that kind of famous though. That's perfect. Like when you come to the States, like nobody's gonna be like, "Oh, is that Robbie Williams?" Because
True.
Nobody.
You're
Yeah.
not. You can go to the grocery store with this guy. He's gonna be
Here.
hot. Yeah.
Yeah.
So people are gonna stop and look, and they're gonna be like, and
Man,
you might
that
get like
guy's hot.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And you might get like that British person who's like, "Holy shit, Robbie Williams."
Yeah.
But I feel like they're very respectful. They're not gonna come up and disturb you.
Yeah,
right?
I don't think yeah.
But you couldn't do that with Ed Sheeran. You couldn't do that with Adele.
no, but could you do that with Robbie Williams in England? Because that's probably where you're going to live.
No, probably not. But that's okay.
Oh, you can markle him.
So you could
be
get-
like, you know what sounds good? Montecito.
I love markling is now a snatch him, bring him to the U.S.
That's right. I love that. Let's coin that.
Yeah.
Yeah.
You gotta
Markling.
markle the bring
Brits.
him out here.
Yeah.
Yep.
It's weird. And I feel also like what you're saying about it makes me nervous because I don't know enough about this person. Maybe I
Right.
should have done a lot more research and make sure. But he does have a brand new album out. You know what I'm saying? Like,
Yeah.
I feel like the kind of person who would have been like,
Yeah.
next, he would not have a new album. I don't think the king would be asking him to do the coronation.
That's
You
true.
know what
if
I
he
mean?
was like controversial or what have you.
I feel like
I don't know. Andrew Lloyd Webber has some
Well,
questionable
there you
takes.
go.
Yes,
I mean,
that's
I'm not
true.
gonna lie to you.
No,
So-
you're right. Gosh, it makes me nervous, but I just feel good energy about him, and I love an Aquarius. Aries. This is. I mean,
Well, yeah, air and fire is good.
Yeah.
we're gonna
it's
have
grow
so much
you.
fun. We aren't going to ever have a serious conversation, which is
Wait, so are you
disturbing to
marrying
me.
him?
I think I am. Okay.
Yeah, I can
Go ahead.
All right.
We've already given our disclaimers. Go ahead.
I think I'm actually going to marry Ed Sheeran.
Oh, what? That was a twist I wasn't expecting.
And it's because I think that
Almost did a spit take.
I think there's something serious about Ed Sheeran. And I like that. I like that. Maybe there's something else in his chart going on that makes me feel like
You can have a conversation with Ed Sheeran.
Yeah.
Like I can tell, like he has the
Yes.
type of energy that it's like he will talk to you about stuff.
He
like,
also,
serious stuff.
like you said, like gets so many negative comments and stuff.
and he's so go
And
with the flow about it.
Yes.
Yeah,
I
he
like
is.
that. It's good
That's
energy.
Big dick energy is
Yeah.
what it is.
There you
It's
go.
just, you're like,
confidence.
yeah.
He
'cause
knows
I
what
don't
he's
care.
what he's
Yeah.
got. That's
Yeah.
all right.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And I like that. I like that.
Fuck the haters, you know?
Yeah, he said, "I don't care if they don't want me to guest star on Game of Thrones. I'm doing it."
I'm doing it.
Do you remember when he was in that episode?
Yes, and people were like,
What?
Ed Sheeran.
It was like look, I love
Took
Ed
you
Sheeran,
out for a sec.
but
You're
it
like,
was
what?
like a jump scare because I was just like, "What the fuck?" I was like, "Is that Ed Sheeran?"
It is.
Called him up. He's like, I want to be on the show.
But good for him.
Good
I like it
for
that like
him.
he's like a fan and he's like, "I'll shoot
Listen,
my shot."
I love Mr. Shoot a Shot.
Yeah.
I'm here for it. I love that. I
Yeah.
love
All
that. And I'm gonna fuck Robbie Williams because god damn it, that motherfucker is hot.
Yeah.
Yeah. And as much as I love Adele, I will tell you that learning that she was a Taurus that's
We-
too
we
much.
all know.
We would butt heads so
Yeah.
hard.
Yeah.
So hard.
yeah.
We know how
And
you feel.
I feel like I have a big personality, and it's really difficult for me when I know that I'm getting on someone's nerves to try to repress that because it is very repressive for me. It's hard to like tamper that down
I
and
hear ya.
and like and having to do that all the time would be is a lot.
Yeah. Yeah.
Yeah. So
All
Get it?
right.
Well, we did fuck, marry, friend, so that's all right.
yes,
Yeah.
Oh, I think we'd be great friends.
Yeah.
I have a lot of Taurus friends.
Yeah.
There you go.
Yeah.
Yeah, and again, getting to go to all the fancy parties and
Oh,
stuff would
God,
be
yeah.
amazing.
Fun times.
And yeah, you know she's friends with some cool people.
Yeah.
Oh, I mean,
to
yeah,
hang
we're
out
hanging out with
with
Lizzo,
Lizzo.
all the time.
Fucking A.
That would be that energy. Immaculate.
Yeah.
The
Love
double
it.
Taurus energy.
I love it.
Yeah.
It's like a weighted blanket.
Exactly. Well, you guys want to take 5 and then we can come back with stories?
Yes.
Good.
At Granger, we're for the ones who pay attention to every little detail. The ones who fuss, tinker, and sweat the small stuff. Because you know the tiniest thing can make the biggest difference when it comes to keeping business moving. We get it. We're the same way. Offering access to product experts to help you quickly and easily find what you need. So whatever your industry, you know you're always getting professional-grade products. Call, clickgranger.com, or just stop by. Granger, for the ones who get it done.
And we're back. All right, listen, because I know that we have UK listeners.
Yes.
And they were probably screaming during that entire thing.
David Gray.
It must not come as a surprise that we don't do like any prep for the most
Right,
part
truly.
for the top of
I mean,
the episode.
First of all, yes, Babylon is by David Gray, which I knew
Babylon.
that. I don't know why that was like
Just it didn't click.
just did not click. But also, Robbie Williams seems like a very nice man.
Seems lovely.
We looked him up. He doesn't have a lot of political stuff on there, but what I saw was not offensive. He's been married to the same woman who is age appropriate to him for a long time. I take back all of my snap judgments on Robbie Williams. He seems lovely. I'm so sorry if he's your
if you're
fave.
listening, which I'm certain you are.
Yeah, yeah.
Robbie.
But I mean, if he's one of your faves, and like I was just like being unfair to him, but also you have to understand the pressure we are under.
Right.
We don't know these people.
No, it's all just wild guessing. So
Yes,
yeah.
yes.
Based off of
Speculation.
their,
Yeah.
General
their
vibe.
sign. The
Usually,
Vibe.
yeah.
Yeah, we go by vibes here. Official vibes.
It's a very vibe-based process, our FMKs.
Supplemented by horoscope
Yeah,
information that we
look.
can find on Google
Can
at a
only
moment's notice.
Be so accurate. But I do formally apologize. All right. So
Yeah, I'm going
Do
to
you wanna
start us
kick us off?
off. Yeah. So mine came to us as an email, and so I'm going to read you this person's opener. Hey, ladies, let me first start by saying you three have brought me so much joy since I was first introduced to your podcast 2 years ago.
Aw.
I was newly single, and my little sister had told me I had to listen to My Worst Date as part of my, quote, training.
Oh, yeah.
Cute.
We're so happy to be part of your healing process.
Oh, I hope you learned valuable stuff.
It says cue montage for entering my dating scene in my early 30s. My sister has even submitted some stories that you guys have read on the podcast.
Ooh.
There is one where she ditches her date for a gyno appointment. So typical.
Yep.
And the one where she realizes her on again, off again boyfriend is kind of trash because he made her stop for bagels and didn't offer her one.
Yes. Bagel boy.
Yeah.
I remember. Yeah.
On a side note, in the bagel story, she said that her two brothers offered her some advice. One said, every cock is a new lesson. And the other said, some boys are all talk and no bagel. To be clear, I'm the latter brother.
all talking, no bagel brother.
I love it.
Love it.
Because I can't let my little sister have all the attention, I have a few stories and some shame receipts to share with you. And so this is one of those stories.
Oh, great.
Okay. This story takes place in 2021. To set the scene, I was 31 years old, still somewhat new to the dating scene. My ex-wife and I had met in college, been together for 10 years, and we separated in 2020. On the positive side, we are still friends to this day, and divorce process was very amicable.
Oh, that's nice.
However wholesome that may be, it still meant that I was approaching the world of dating without any real dating experience.
Yeah.
Yeah. I know the feeling well.
Relatable content. So yeah. College dating consisting mostly of parties and makeout sessions in dorm rooms, as one does. I had dating profiles on a few apps without much variation on my presentation or information. Side note, I cannot thank this podcast enough for warning me away from OkCupid and Plenty of Fish.
Yep.
Keep doing the Lord's work. It's
You're
making an impact.
So welcome.
Oh, great. Oh, I love this.
I'm pretty upfront about being liberal, LGBTQ plus, and human rights supporting. So even though my profiles didn't contain anything as upfront as, quote, no Trump supporters, it would have been fairly obvious that I was a bleeding heart lefty. This makes what follows all the more surprising. I connect with a girl. Let's call her Linda. And after...
Listen, Linda.
Listen. After a few days of pleasant, if unremarkable conversation, we agreed to meet for a casual dinner. We meet outside the restaurant, and when we go in for the table, the hostess informs us it'll be about 20 to 30 minutes, and they would text us when the table was ready. No big deal. We're not that hungry yet anyway. It was a nice summer evening, so we decided to use this as an opportunity to walk around the neighborhood and get to know each other. I began the conversation innocently enough, asking how her day was. This leads to an almost breathless rant about her work, how stupid people she works with are, and just general complaints about her work environment.
Well, listen, we
It's
can't
such a
judge her.
turn off, though. I'm telling
know.
you, like on a date, like, listen, do I unload on Eric on the daily about
For
like
sure.
how like everyone else in the world is dumb except for me? Like probably,
It is
but it's
different when you're with people who know you well. So
Yeah.
your friends, your close girlfriends, I mean, like, I can't judge her for being like, everybody I work with is dumb, because I'm sure that we've had
on a
that
first date-
conversation. But I
But it's
wouldn't.
first-
you
yeah.
don't.
Not
You
on
don't
a
present
first
that
date.
stuff. We were just talking about this on so behind the scenes. We recorded our double date for this month today, and that's what she was saying. Our guest was talking about how, like, your first date is you are putting your best foot forward.
Correct.
Like, you should be presenting
positive
A-game.
vibes.
a game.
Real
Yeah.
A game.
Yeah.
Now, I love it when my date makes conversation, so I didn't mind so much that they only left room for me to get an occasional, yeah, totally. Damn, that's crazy.
Oh no,
Oh yeah.
that's crazy.
Oh, damn,
You
that's
know,
crazy.
you know, my brain
Wow.
is turned off if we're on like the second or third. That's crazy. I haven't heard anything you've said.
Correct.
I'm out.
Yeah.
I'm out. Without directing the conversation back to me or my day, I will admit that listening to somebody complaining about something for 15 to 20 minutes isn't the most attractive look, but the date was still early and I was willing to brush it off until Linda drops the line. So, you know, my boss is black. Do you know? Question mark.
What does
do
that
I,
have
what,
to
what
do
do I
with
know?
anything?
What? That's exactly what he says. He's like, no, Linda, what is it that I know? Does him being black automatically mean that there are things about him I know?
Should I assume he's good at basketball? I don't.
What is happening here?
He can jump good? I don't
I
know.
don't understand.
Yeah. What are some of the things that everybody should know about black people because they're black? These are all things I should perhaps have said out loud to her in some alternate universe or some alternate simulation of my life looking at you, Christina. There's a version of me that does this and calls Linda out for her casual racism. In that alternate reality, there's a crowd of onlookers that cheers loudly as I school Linda on her very problematic
is this
social
person
views.
Actually, you need to go on Ancestry to see like if we're
related. Yeah,
'cause
definitely in the shower. It's a shower
It's a
conversation.
shower?
Yeah.
Yes.
But I can.
Hello, soulmate.
All before dropping the mic that has magically appeared in my hand and walking off into the sunset.
I can relate though, because like sometimes people say things to you that are so like off the wall where like my brain really would be going towards like, should I understand what's happening right now? I would miss the moment because I'd be so in my head of like, wait, what?
Did you say that out loud?
And like, is this something that I don't understand?
And I think for us, we have such a solid, positive friend group. I work in a place where I don't have to really encounter that often. And thank God for that, that when you do encounter something
It throws
like
you
that,
so-
it throws
does.
you off.
It makes me think like my brain, honestly, I don't even know if I would jump to racism right away. Well, I probably would with that because of personal experience. But in general, because I'd be like, did I miss something in all the that's crazies? Was there like, is this
Was there a
racist?
cue somewhere?
Is this racism or is this like something I'm missing? Like I would, because we don't talk to people who say things like that.
Racism.
Yeah. Where it would take me half a second to be like, oh, she's being really
being
racist right
racist.
now. Like,
Oh, yeah.
Sadly, the computer running my current simulation or against this plot thread in the moment, present reality, me can eke out as an uncomfortable, She continues with he's extremely unprofessional. And there was some stupid Black Lives Matter bullshit protest outside my work, and he took part of it and was on TV and everything. At this point, my comfortability with this conversation moved to panicked survival mode. My mind is racing with thoughts of like, damn, Linda.
Ran.
Damn, Linda, we can't even be friends now.
No.
Why would this person match with me? And oh shit, what protest was it? I might have been at that same one. As I'm thinking all these thoughts and wondering what the optics of me calling out a young woman in public might look like, my phone vibrates to let me know your table is ready.
Oh, great.
Perfect timing.
No, you weren't. You could have gotten out. You weren't even seated yet.
No. Yeah.
Oh, I left my jacket in the car. I got a
good one. I'll come with you. That's fine.
That's okay.
You grab that table.
You hold the fort. Yeah.
I'll be right in.
Now I know I should have ended the date right there. And at this point, I have zero interest in this person. Even if I wasn't prepared to debate Linda out on her problematic language, I could have just made some excuse to leave. However, these loftier thoughts were overturned by my upbringing and manners, which said that as a guy, it would be very rude for me to abandon my date.
I mean, true. We make a lot of jokes about just walking out of a date, but it would actually be very hard to do, to just like abandon a date. It would have to be, I mean, I think racism qualifies.
Oh, absolutely.
I think that's a good reason to just get up and walk out of a date, but it would be hard. I mean, it'd be hard for me.
Yeah.
I'm very Midwestern polite like that.
I've ended dates early, like after like one drink, but I've been like, thank you for taking me out. Like, thank you. It was nice to meet you. I'm gonna, bounce. But yeah, just up and leaving, absconding, going to the bathroom and never returning.
It'd
I've
have
never
to be
done
really,
it.
really fucking bad.
It'd have to be bad.
Yeah.
I mean, this is pretty
I
fucking
do
bad.
think racism qualifies.
Yeah.
I agree. I will tell you that saying what you were saying earlier about kind of having your head kind of locked in that, is this really happening space?
Yeah.
Would also make it very difficult for me to up and leave, because I'm like, is this,
I think all
where?
three of us tend to give people the benefit
of
of
the
like
doubt.
7 doubts.
Yeah,
you know what I mean?
Truly,
100.
to a fault. Like
Yeah.
I give people second, third, fourth chances before I'm like, okay, we're cutting the cord.
Yeah.
As we sit down to eat, she finally asks me questions about myself. As checked out of the date as I am at this point, I figure polite conversation is better than awkward silence. I tell her more about me and mention that I have my master's in history, and turned the conversation to some interesting class I helped TA for.
Oh my God.
One
if
of
she
which
brings up CRT, I'm going to fucking die.
God.
One of which was American environmental history. Was this my passive aggressive way of letting her know that I was some hippie lib and that she had nothing in common with? Absolutely.
This reminds me of that guy on TikTok who's always testing people. You know what I mean?
Yes.
It's like just throwing things out into the conversation to see how
And then-
you respond. You know what I mean? It's like that. It's like environmental history.
Yeah.
What do you have to say about that?
What do you have to say?
I start talking about things that I learned while helping with the class, such as how factory towns had the peculiar tendency to house minorities and lower level factory workers closest to the factories, and thus their pollution, while upper level executives just happen to build their homes further away and uphill from all the toxic waste. She stops me as I'm describing this phenomenon.
I have to say, Cassie just
and
put a
says-
finger out when she said she stops me. And I swear to God, if she did that thing, that would trigger me so bad. Where you put your
actually-
finger up, you're like,
She says, no, that wasn't on purpose. They just didn't know that
I'm gonna flip this table.
that stuff was bad back then.
Yeah.
Again, I'm concerned about the optics here. Whether I'm correct or not, does the world really need to see another man lecturing a woman in public about something? The most tactful response I can think of was, well, there was a lot of information available at the time to show how harmful.
so all of them just happened to build their houses far away.
Only to be interrupted again with, no, that's not right.
I'm going to throw my microphone.
They just don't know. They just didn't know that everything was that bad about it. I'm tempted to ask how she is so certain certain of this.
Yeah,
Is she
considering
perhaps
one of you has a fucking
Master's-
degree,
yeah.
a master's degree in it, and the other one is Linda.
Yeah. I'm tempted to ask how she's so certain. Is she perhaps secretly an industrial plastics heiress and she's sharing her body with the ghost of
Right?
Rockefeller? If so, these are things that definitely should have been mentioned in her
a great
profile.
writer.
His writing is amazing. That's incredible.
At this point, though, I realized the conversation would probably not be worth the energy. We basically finished our dinner, so I asked for the check to pay, manners override again, before we go and on our separate ways and never speak again. Of course, I had to call my sister immediately after and tell her about this uncomfortable experience. Sister, I say, when she answers.
Sister.
I just got mansplained to on my date. She told me that this maybe wasn't exactly mansplaining, but I immediately cut her off and tell her that I know more about mansplaining.
Yeah. Actually,
And
I would
proceed
know.
to educate her on what the term actually means. To be clear, I'm kidding about that part. To this day, I'm still a bit ashamed that I sat through that whole date instead of being a strong ally and calling Linda out. Would it have changed your mind? Probably not, but it's important to stand up when you encounter injustice anywhere.
Wow.
And this was one test I clearly failed. Present simulation me has to settle for reimagining the debate that never was in front of my shampoo bottles every time I'm in the shower.
yes.
Oh my God.
him.
I love him too.
For the record, they universally agree that my counter arguments are well researched, articulate, and would have shown Linda what's what.
The best.
Wow.
Oh my
I love
gosh.
so much like his writing style is amazing. I also love, as someone who has no sisters and 3 brothers, I love a good, healthy brother-sister
Yes.
Yeah.
relationship. I
Oh,
feel like they
yeah.
don't get enough representation in the
Yeah.
media. It's always just about sisters
Or brothers.
just about brothers.
Yeah.
Good, healthy
I love
brother, sister.
I hope that your brothers call you and say, hey, sister.
Sister?
Hey, sister.
Hi, sister.
Sup, sis?
Oh, dude, I will say this. When I was in Springfield, I was out with some of my nonprofit co-founders. And so it's a table of Black people in Springfield. And this guy came up and he knew what we did, like as an organization. And he was trying, it was so cringeworthy because he was trying so hard to relate that he kept calling my co-founder sis.
No.
And he kept being like, he was
We're
like,
not like that.
I hear you, sis.
Nope.
And I was like, oh,
Peel my fucking skin off.
Why don't know you like that,
you
honey?
gotta
You
not.
gotta, that's not.
That's not what we want. That's not.
That ain't it.
That ain't it.
I hear you, sis.
Ending racism one sis at a time. Okay.
Is that the title of your memoir? Keegan Winfield. The Keegan Winfield story.
Amazing. Okay. This one's pretty short. Going to an outdoor party with a girl. We get there. Everyone is drinking. It's rural England in summer. Great weather. Sit up on a I love the way it's written. It's just like bullet points, basically. Sit up on a concrete block on a hill overlooking said party. We're flirting, getting a bit physical, but we're young. And so she's punching my shoulder playfully while smiling.
Oh no. Hit me. I'm such a puncher.
We're laughing and I nudge her a bit with my shoulder. Gentle, I swear.
She rolls all the way down the
She proceeds to fall off the concrete block and roll down about a 10-foot hill.
Oh my God.
High gradient hill.
As you wish.
Full of nettles.
Oh no.
I, in shock, crack up laughing. And you're one of those like nervous laughters. You're like, this isn't funny. Oh no. But I can't stop. The party stops, watching the slow roll
like a goddamn Jack and Jill.
through a terror of stalks and stings, gasps, silence. Just my laughter.
Oh no. Oh no. It's like, I said ha ha.
The way she rolled was incredible. She hit every 2-foot tall nettle possible while wearing a vest.
Oh my
I
God.
couldn't contain the laughter. It was more how unbelievable it was. A little playful nudge turned into chaos. She punched me again when I helped her up in the face.
Oh.
Genuine
That ain't
accident,
me.
genuine comedy role. She married my best friend. But have you ever been in that situation where you cannot stop
Yes.
laughing over
Oh.
something that you know is you should not?
100%.
Like,
That's the time that's the funniest thing to me. The thing that is not funny.
and then
Yeah.
you can't
Oh
stop,
my
which
God.
just makes you laugh
The giggles.
harder. Yeah.
Oh, no.
The giggles.
Oh my goodness. Hope you guys, this is the most fucking bizarre thing I've ever read in my life.
Amazing.
So here we go. Online date, of which I've only ever done a few of those. I was in my early 20s living in Boston and showed pictures to my downstairs neighbor of this dude who was interested, and he was attractive enough and worked as a professional magician.
Oh, okay.
Wow.
You know,
I'm
I'm gonna
it's all gonna be no
withhold
for me.
my judgment.
I'm gonna put mine on Front Street. I don't date a magician.
Deal breaker.
Yeah.
I mean, I do want to know what kind of magician. Like, there's a lot of
close
different
up.
kinds. Like close-up magic. Are we talking like Magic Castle magician? Are we talking about like a David Blaine?
Chris Angel,
Chris
mind
Angel?
freak.
Oh no.
Okay.
I hate all of it.
I told her where I was going and what time I'd be back in case he was psycho. I insisted on doing just drinks, but he wanted to do dinner at a really expensive restaurant and
I said drinks.
insisted he would pay for it.
I said just drinks, sir.
I said no. I told him multiple times he didn't need to do that, but he kept insisting, so I eventually agreed. The nice part of the restaurant ended up having a bottom casual part that served the same food, and we had to get a table there because the nice room was full despite him allegedly having a reservation.
Okay. No.
Out of all the fancy, complicated items on the menu, he ended up ordering a pizza appetizer and insisted we share it. It was an odd choice
say
for
you don't have the
someone
money.
who
Why
insisted
didn't-
on getting a nice dinner.
Why didn't we just go get drinks? Like it, because it's not impressive if you're trying to impress your date by taking
That
them
ain't
to an
it.
expensive place. It's not impressive
And then
to
you're
then
going to
get the
split
cheapest
an appetizer.
Yeah, no, that's,
I'm not impressed. And now
No.
I'm irritated because I actually was kind of looking at stuff on the menu and was like, oh, okay. Well,
right. You
I mean,
said
I'm here.
yeah,
Yeah.
Oh god.
Don't like it. So it's just an odd choice for someone who insisted on getting a nice dinner. And the kicker was he asked me to split the check.
Of course.
During dinner, he spoke about his career as a magician and started doing magic tricks at the table.
I am out. I am out. Goodbye.
Specifically picked this for you, Cassie.
I wish you hadn't.
It was cool
Imagine.
at first, but then he would not stop. He then started doing them to the waitress and got her involved.
Oh my
I'd
god!
be
Don't
like,
fucking do that to
I-
wait staff. They do
they're
not make enough
so
money.
busy.
They're so busy. Imagine.
No.
I'd be like, I'm not really with him.
I
This is the
can't.
first date. I would have to be like, please
Crawl
don't
out of your skin.
don't let me in with him.
After dinner, he insisted we stop by his apartment because he
Oh.
had something he
Oh,
wanted to show
no,
me.
please,
No.
God, just take me home.
No.
I was a bit uncomfortable, but went anyways.
No.
He had me sit on the couch and he started playing videos of all his magic tricks at events.
Oh my God. Oh my God.
Sit somebody down
No.
and makes them like watch me do this stuff.
There is no gift you could have. I don't care. You could be like a concert pianist and you don't take me home on a first date and sit me down and make me watch you.
How weird is that?
If I didn't ask, I don't want to see it.
No, exactly.
I definitely don't want to see magic. I would much rather go home with that concert pianist. I'm not going to lie.
But it's all bad. It's just
all
weird.
bad, but
Yeah, it's weird. It's weird to be on a date with somebody who's
Don't
making
tell me
you
he pulls
watch.
puppets out.
It went on and on and on. Then he told me he wanted me to meet someone.
No.
Is it a puppet?
Christina,
Is it a puppet?
I swear to don't you bring it out. Don't you bring out the dog.
It was his rabbit whose name was Hocus.
Okay. Wait.
Look, that's actually really cute.
Wait,
I would
okay.
take that rabbit. I'm like, you.
Yeah.
I'm going to take you to a safe home.
I thought Hocus would be in a cage somewhere, but no, it's just a white
Free
albino rabbit with red beady eyes hopping around his apartment free range with his food and water bowl put out how you would for a dog or cat.
Yeah, and baby.
I did convince him to go to a club after that just because the rabbit was creeping me out and I wanted to get around more people before I ditched him for good.
The rabbit.
We went to this club.
The rabbit sounds like the best part of the
I was
date.
just going to
I
say,
don't
I'm
know
like,
why.
I'm confused. That was the best part of the date so far.
We went to this club, leaving the rabbit behind, and I decided to start making myself very undesirable to him so he'd never call me and wouldn't like me. I started asking him about his religion, and he told me his family and him were Christians. I'm Jewish, so I used that to disrespectfully go into a rant about how Jesus isn't real and all religions are cults.
My God.
That's one way to do it.
And here we go.
I had also been texting him with a broken phone, a BlackBerry at the time, and he said, I noticed you never type an I or O in some of the words you text. Is your phone broken or something? And I just replied, nah, I don't read good.
I don't read good. Oh, no.
You know, though, I always hear about people going through these like elaborate ways of getting out of dates. And I'm just like, it's got to be easier just to be like, I'm not interested.
I'm not really feeling
I know. It's got to be. Oh, now this person's going around thinking. Yeah, anyways. At that point, he offered to walk me to my train. I never saw him again, and he never contacted me.
Well, it worked, I
I
guess.
still think about that rabbit, though.
Yes. That rabbit is, I'd be like, look, let me give you a home where you don't have to go to work every day. Hocus?
Hocus. Yeah.
I bet Hocus is well taken care
Yeah,
of.
I
Hocus
know.
is probably pretty
I'm
happy.
not gonna lie.
Yeah.
Hocus was the best part of the thing, but
date,
for
yeah.
me, the clincher of awkwardness that made me want to rip my skin off is
and the
watching
fucking-
the video of it. Like,
At
To
least
me-
you're not in public.
To me,
though.
it's him doing it to the waitress,
Yeah.
like him doing it to other people.
the
I'd be
way
like,
I'm under the
ooh.
table, like just crawling under the table. Ugh.
no, I had a date once that was interested in hearing my band's music, and he listened to the
In front
music
of
in
you?
front of me,
I don't
and
like
I
that.
fucking wanted to peel my skin off. I was like, this is
No.
awkward. I would never do this again.
It's something I can't relate to, like him wanting to take her home to show her those videos, because I'm just like, I don't. People will ask me for like copies of short films I've been in and stuff like that because they're just curious and they want to see it. I'm hesitant to do that, and I'm not even present when you're watching them.
Yeah.
Because
Yeah.
I'm so uncomfortable. I don't like watching things that I'm in.
I agree. I'm the
or
same.
do.
Yeah.
So that would make me.
Yeah.
I could never. I would never.
So yeah, what's he doing? You're sitting on the couch and you're watching it, and then they're watching
Watching
you
your reaction?
watch it, and I'm like,
No.
no,
That's unfair
I hate
to-
it.
to-
I hate it.
I
This
hate it.
is a date, not a talent show.
Oof.
Yeah. Has that ever worked? Has that ever been like a panty dropper for him? Like,
Oh,
like they're like,
maybe.
oh, well, we got to fuck
Somebody
right
loves
now.
magic. There's a
just
place
like-
called Magic Castle. Someone loves magic.
Okay, maybe that is a specific kink. Do you think that's a kink? Like somebody gets like turned on by
like,
magic? Because I'm like,
That is my
yeah,
card.
let's go. Let's go fuck right now.
Oh,
like,
God.
ew.
I'm out of here.
Yeah,
Cassie is like,
there's-
I don't even like this
There's a
conversation.
dog for every Beth. That's
There-
what we've
there it
said.
is.
You know, so.
I did
been
have
our
a
motto
friend
since the
growing up
beginning.
whose both parents were clowns. I'm like, oh, that's good
Oh.
for you.
Yeah.
Good for them.
Everybody- yeah.
They were
For
very
you.
happy. They were a very happy clown family.
Yeah, yeah.
There you go.
Should we take 5 and then come back with the Tainted Love?
Cassie
Immediately.
hates it.
Oh, and we're back. And I have the Tainted Love. So I'm going to tell you a story. First of all, I got my notes from, I watched an episode of a show called A Lie to Die For.
Ooh.
And the episode's name was A Marriage Bed of Lies.
Of lies.
Of lies.
Oh my gosh, that's so
dramatic. I know.
Yeah.
I also got information from an A&E article called The Murder of Lori Hacking, Killed by Her Husband's Lies by Sarah Kettler. Hidden Truth 48 Hours article by Rebecca Lewin. So
yeah, and as a reminder, if you ever want to know our sources, go to our website, myrealestatepodcast.com, has all of our episode sources. So
yeah, it's got links and everything. So Lori Suarez and Mark Hacking, they are a young couple. They met in high school. Mark is one of like 6 children. So he is, grew up in a household. This is all taking place in Salt Lake City, so that'll help kind of put the place. Why? Large family. He was in an LDS family. He is raised by 2 incredibly smart parents. His father, I think, is a pediatrician. His mom's a nurse. He's got 3 brothers, all excelling in their,
feels
academics.
like a lot of pressure.
A lot of pressure, right? So, this is like a A-level family. High achieving family. And he is, along with them, also very high achieving. And
Thank God.
Yeah.
Imagine if you weren't.
I know. Imagine, if you will, a scenario in which you were not doing that well. So he meets Lori Suarez, who is one of 2 children. It's just her and her brother. And they, I believe, are also LDS, which I didn't get any confirmation specifically on that, but I'm pretty certain that the family is. In fact, in the show that I watched when they were interviewing the mom, she did kind of quote some scripture.
Okay.
So I'm pretty certain that they're both LDS families.
Okay.
Meeting in high school is very common, I think, in LDS community.
Getting married young.
And getting married young. So that's it, right? They got married right out of high school. It seems like they had a great thing. Lori was very accomplished.
Can
also,
we all take a moment and just be grateful that we didn't marry whoever the fuck we were dating when we were right out of high school?
Wow. Yeah.
Oh my God.
Yeah.
What a different life I would have led.
Honestly.
I don't like that person who I would, I don't like
Yeah.
I don't like where I'd have been.
Me either.
I don't even want to marry. There was a TikTok recently. It was like, imagine marrying the crush that you had or whatever. Oh, that's what it was. It was the Twilight thing I sent you guys. It was like, imagine being Bella and being bitten by your high school crush and living with the person that you fell in love with at that age
For eternity.
For eternity.
I shared that tweet with you, which is like the most real thing, which is just like, who's the worst person you've ever met, and why is it the person you were dating when you were 19?
Oh man,
it's so specific.
Yep.
But it's
It
like
hits.
that is so true.
it's 100% correct.
Yeah, and I don't want to say
100%.
that across the board, because I definitely have known people who got married young who like it worked out well for them and like they're happy. But like,
Good for you.
For me, I was not mature enough
No.
to have been making life decisions.
Yeah.
Very bad picker for a very long time.
Yeah.
So
Yeah, 19 me.
Mistakes
Oh, a fucking
were
mess.
made.
A fucking mess.
Yeah.
Ugh. I had no business being a parent. Let's just put it down. Like, no business living. God, mess. Anyway,
But they are okay.
they're happily married. 1999. Everyone describes them as a loving couple. They're a great match. Everybody's like, they're a fucking perfect match. Lori's mom is like, literally, Mark is she calls him her teddy bear. He is so sweet. And like, even Lori's brother is like, seriously, like, he's doing stuff in the house that he's like, I'm embarrassed. I should be doing that. Like, he's coming over, fixing
stepping
shit.
it up.
Mr. Go-to guy. Lori's mom may have loved him at some point more than her own
Damn.
daughter.
Wow.
Like, she's just like, he is a doll. Like, he's an absolute doll. They have a great marriage. Everything is roses, right? Everything's going really well for them.
It just stayed that way, and end of story.
Yeah.
yeah. Oh,
Yeah,
nice.
and that's actually my story, you guys.
What a relief.
Yeah, great. Yeah. Lori is described as a girl with a plan. She's always happy. She's very fun and sometimes a little even feisty. Mark had just shared some really exciting news with his family, and that was that he had passed his MCATs. So he just finished University of Utah. He just finished school there. He was doing his undergrad medical, and then has now passed his MCATs, and they're going to be moving to North Carolina for him to start medical school at Chapel Hill.
I
Oh,
feel
wow.
like that is a big culture shift from Utah to North Carolina.
I mean,
I lived in Utah for years. It is its own culture within
Sure.
itself. And
Yeah.
then, I have family in the South, the deep South, and there's
LDS community everywhere. And I mean, you're in college. Colleges are very much more accepting
culture's very
in cultures.
different, though.
Yeah. But I mean, this is medical school. I mean, I don't think they're planning to move there for the rest of their lives. The whole goal is that he's just going to go finish his med school.
Yeah.
He wants to be, he wants to be a doctor like his father and also like one of his other brothers who's also in the medical field. So this is just, like they're moving on up. They're ready to get their, get their lives kicked off. Right.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
Lori also has some very exciting news of her own, and that is that she has just learned that she's pregnant.
It's a lot of big changes all at once.
Lots happening, but everybody's really excited because this is what they've always wanted. This is literally their life turning out how Lori planned it. Like Lori was like, this is the plan. We're on schedule.
Manifesting.
Yeah. She's not going to medical school. I'm certain they already have that all sorted. And she's just, this is what they want. Good for them.
Good.
July 19th, 2004, though, a call comes in to the police station from Mark. Mark's like, my wife is missing. She has gone to Memory Grove, a park that's there in Salt Lake City, and she goes there every morning for a jog. I went to call her at work just to touch base with her. She hasn't shown up to work, and that's not like my wife. Mm-hmm. And so he's like, I don't know what's going on, but this is her schedule. She's very regimented. This is where she goes, and so the police, they check out the park, she's got a pretty good job too. So this is like, Lori is on her shit. She works at Wells Fargo and she's a stockbroker assistant. Mm-hmm. So she's got a career. She had, this is her finishing up her last couple weeks of work. She's already, they've already done the going away party kind of situation.
Right.
She's just tying up loose ends at her job, getting ready to move to North Carolina. So police go out to the park just as like a check it out kind of situation. Her car is there. So they're like, oh shit. Well, this park also has a lot of like ridges. It's in an area that's beautiful, great. A lot of people park or like jog there, whatever. They're like, but we probably should check it out. Maybe she fell. She could have tripped. Yeah. She could have fallen.
Hit her head.
She clearly was here.
I admire anybody that drives someplace to jog.
Honestly.
Girl, I did that when I first started jogging. When I first started jogging, I would get up in the morning before work, put on my workout clothes, get in the car, drive to the park and run. And I did that for like 2 months before I was like, nah, I just got to start running around my neighborhood.
Yeah,
I can't,
right.
like I can't.
That's right. But yeah,
it eats up so much time. I gotta find parking.
Yeah. That extra step, you lost me.
Yeah.
You lost me there. Yeah.
Same. It's this thing that I'm always like, man, I wish I would really want to go hiking. I would love to go out into the trails and stuff. And I'm like,
only if this trail started right outside my front door.
That's exactly right. That's exactly right. Like if I walk outside and it's right there, that is
Yeah,
perfect.
I'll hike all the time.
Oh, yeah. Every day of the week.
Yeah.
She's a go-getter though. She loves this trail. So this is a normal run for her. And so she's only been missing for 3 hours at this point too. So this is not something like this escalated very quickly because the police would not, and even the officer on the show was like, 3 hours missing. We're not normally going to take that very seriously, but because
her car is there.
because it tracked to where she should have been.
Right.
And that she's not, we were like, yeah, we should check this area. Let's get some people out searching.
Well, and they were already there because, they were probably like, yeah, we'll probably, because there is part of me that's like, why would that? But they probably just sent a cruiser out to be like, oh, well, we'll just check it out, thinking that they would probably just like swing by and leave.
That's exactly
and
right.
And then they were probably like, oh, well, we're already here. So like, let's just do like a quick round to see if we can find her.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Well, that quick round turned into kind of all hands on deck because they were like, okay, this is clearly serious. This is not, she didn't run away. Her car's here.
Yeah.
I mean, she didn't up and left. Mm-hmm. Everything's here. Everything is aligned in the way it should be at this point. So this is just weird now. So let's take a look. So they're searching the whole canyon, the whole area. They got the helicopter out. And at this point now too, media is starting to show up. And, Mark is like,
That shit escalated so
so
fast.
quickly. They're like, missing woman. And he's like, this is so out of character for her. He's like talking to anybody who would listen at this point. Cause he's just like, my wife is missing. Like she could be anywhere. Anybody who's seen her, please just contact us or whatever. He's beside himself. His family has all come now. Lori's mom has driven up. I mean, the family's starting to show up. I mean, everybody is upset.
Yeah.
And because it's kind of all hands on deck and everybody's doing these searches, they just happen to have one of the homicide detectives come out just to help with the search, start asking some questions, kind of doing some, remedial kind of like what's going on, where are we at, start kind of digging in a little deeper. And like as detectives do, they got a lovely detective named Kelly to come in. And when I tell you this bitch,
She ain't here to play?
she ain't here to play. And when I
Nice.
tell you that she is the joy of this entire story,
Okay. Excellent.
she's a dream. So Kelly comes with her...
Detective Kelly shows
Detective Kelly shows up with her cohort Taylor, who's I think a little under her and kind of training as well. So
Awesome.
It's great. She shows up. She's asking the questions. He's like, tells her again, like, hey, yeah, my wife left. I gone to work. My wife goes to does this jog, whatever. She hadn't shown up to work. Got it. Great. Would you mind, Mark, ever could we stop by the house? Can we come check out your apartment? Just gotta take a look around, see the lay of the land. Maybe we can gain something from that, right?
Right.
He's like, absolutely. So they go over and they're talking to him a little bit. Kelly's like, I walk in the door and there's her purse. Her purse, her wallet, keys. That's interesting. She's like, nobody goes... No
How'd
woman.
she get her car over there
right.
without the key?
Well,
Yeah.
And then, maybe, I don't know.
But you don't like
You're
look
not gonna-
as somebody who I haven't jogged in a minute, but I was jogging regularly for a
You might
while.
not take your purse.
And I'm not taking my whole purse.
Nope.
But I do. I always, maybe not everybody does this. Of course I have a house key on me
Yep.
to get back in
Yeah.
the house, and I do take my cards. I take my ID and a debit card, like just in
Just one.
case.
Yep.
Like what?
That's
and,
right.
You put them in the little pocket.
That's right.
Like I don't leave everything at home. I make
Yeah.
sure I have basics.
Yeah.
Yeah.
With me.
It wasn't even, I agree. Because for me, I was like, I wouldn't take my purse.
I wouldn't take my purse.
I wouldn't take
but
my wallet.
I would take.
But I would take the key things that I need. Like
Yeah.
you said, exactly. Those 3 things that you said would be
Yeah.
it. Because I'm not trying to have a bunch of stuff on me when I'm
Right.
running.
Right.
But then the other thing that stood out to her, and really the whole idea of this was like, okay, we need to see, are either of these people stepping out of this marriage, right?
Right,
Like,
yeah.
how is
First
their
thing.
first thing? How's the marriage, right? So that's kind of what they're there for, right?
They
Look-
talk to her mom, and mom is like, Mark is the best.
Yeah, Mark's actually perfect.
Yeah.
The most perfect man that's ever been
my
made.
God.
Yeah.
Right. So they're like, well, we're not going to get anywhere with the family. Let's see what the apartment looks like. So they go, boxes packed. Again, they're getting ready to move. This is all pretty standard, kind of what they expected. The purse was she was like red flag. She was like immediate red flag
Yeah.
for her. And I was like, okay, I got the little bit of a slight, more of a mustard flag from that.
Yeah,
versus
just
a-
like, let's keep that in
Let's
mind.
put a pin in
in it.
Yep.
Yeah.
But then she was like, but then on the table were these flowers. And we're not talking, I was thinking of you and stopped by the gas station flowers. She
These
literally
are
goes,
sorry flowers.
that's what she said.
Oh, yeah.
Oh, you can tell the difference.
She
You
said-
know
always
who
tell.
fucked up. Because they
Listen.
spent a small fortune on those roses.
Yeah.
Who fucked up?
Every detective needs to be a woman.
Oh, 100.
Every.
I literally, if you get to a certain age, you've been trained
Yeah.
as a detective. I
No,
feel
yeah.
like once you hit 30 as a woman,
You're at least starting your detective phase.
Right.
35?
oh, yeah.
Yeah.
You can solve anything.
Yeah.
You can basically look at a bouquet of flowers and be like, these are flowers
You're in
that
trouble.
they bought themselves because they just
This
wanted to make the
was-
space look pretty.
3 days ago.
Right?
And
You smell it. Yeah.
What'd you do 3 days ago, sir? Nothing.
what happened on the 17th, Mark?
Yeah, she's just not. She's like, she called them expensive apology flowers. She also knows that the bathroom is fucking spotless, which, okay, understandably, you may be moving. you're going to start cleaning things, but your bathroom's not the first thing that you clean before you leave.
Well,
it's
and
the last thing you clean.
Like, that's the thing too. For me, I mean, I've moved many, many times in my life. Like, there is a phase when you are moving and packing where it's just kind of chaos and you just let it be chaos until right before you leave, and then
That's
you
exactly
clean
right.
everything.
The night before you leave, you get that bleach out and you get it nice and spotless.
It's just
so you
also
get that
easier
return.
to clean once you've packed all your
And
shit
everything's out of the way.
Everything's out of the way.
right.
Then you can give it a good clean.
Yeah.
But yeah, it's always
Oh no,
chaos.
this is bleach smelling clean. And she's like,
and the
let's
rest
put
of
a
the
pin in
house
that.
isn't that, because then you'd have to think like, okay, well maybe they just keep everything clean all the time. But if that room is super spotless
and
and
everything
nothing else is, it's like,
So the other thing that she
Shade.
noticed without, again, this is just a cursory walkthrough. So these are
Right.
all little pins that she's putting in her brain as the cursory walkthrough. The other thing that she noticed right away, which I was like, this is a fucking woman detective once again. She walks into the bedroom and she notices that the mattress has brand new sheets. And she's like, not like I went over smelled them. They smell clean sheets. These are brand
they
fucking,
still have
the
the
lines.
folds,
The crisps.
the folds.
She's like, no woman would do that. A woman would throw that shit in the washer and dryer. You
Right.
get them wrinkles out. It's never been slept on. Those are fresh out of the bag sheets.
yeah,
That's a woman detective right there. She's
Yeah.
like, that's interesting.
that is weird.
It's very interesting. So again, puts a pin in that because this is a cursory walkthrough. And she's like, but after that walkthrough, she tells her partner, she's like,
something's not right.
that motherfucker killed his wife.
So
No
she's talking,
holds
she's
barred.
like, okay. They get in the car. They shut the door immediately. She's like, Taylor, listen.
This motherfucker killed
This motherfucker
his
killed
wife.
her.
And Taylor's like, are you sure? And literally, they're both being interviewed on the show. And when I tell you, the two of them are
I'm
fucking
getting
priceless.
Cagney and Lacey vibes.
Yes,
big
Taylor's a
times.
guy, but it's very much that. And he's like kind of a younger guy compared to her. She's the seasoned old detective.
It's like Mayor of
I
Easttown.
love it.
It's like Mayor of Easttown.
Yes.
It's really great. Listen, this story is absolutely fucking horrible, top to bottom. But this woman and her doggedness
She deserves her own show.
just gives me so much like yes, good for you for being dogged and going for
Yeah,
it
I
and
love
digging at
I
it.
love a female detective, and I
Yes.
feel like we watch obviously and consume so much true crime content that I'm like, I want more female detectives.
I bet you
represented. It's
because
always a
of-
grizzled old dude.
I think because of the true crime wave that we've seen and its popularity among women, I bet you we see more
Female
detectives.
Yeah, maybe. Yeah, I hope so.
At any rate, they're like, you know what? Let's go ahead and take this interview down to the station. Let's go ahead and take a little. We
just want to clear
We
you.
got a few
That's right.
questions.
We just have
Yeah.
a couple
Just a couple
questions
questions.
in the interview. He's like, there's no problems in the marriage. Lady detective was like,
Where'd you get these flowers, Mark?
so you're moving so you can go to med school, right? What do you want to specialize in? And he's like, oncology. She's like, forgive me for being stupid. Can you spell that for me? He can't fucking spell oncology.
What?
And she's like, that's fucking interesting. Put a pin in that shit too.
Isn't that phonetically correct?
Pretty much.
Oncology?
yeah,
Yeah.
I mean, just
She was
guess.
like-
Take a stab at it?
Yeah. So she asked him to spell it all shoulders. Motherfucker's like, I don't know how to spell oncology. I'm not sure. He says he starts doing the crying, but she calls it the dry crying.
Oh, the dry
She's-
crying.
She goes, he's crying, but he's not snotting.
Oh,
She was like, now that's how you know there's a cry and there's a real cry. And you know, if you've ever cried before, that starts coming. You start running that nose. And she's like, if you're not running that nose, that's not real tears coming out.
here's a tip
She was
from,
like,
from
no.
me to you. If you can't cry, just don't cry. Just don't do it. Like everyone can tell whenever you're faking it.
Yeah,
So
it's
just
actually
don't.
worse.
It's worse.
It's better
It's
to
worse.
just not.
To just not and
Just
then
pretend to be in shock.
and
Do
then
whatever,
you
I
can
don't
just
know.
you're in shock or like everybody handles grief differently and not everybody's going to
yeah,
start
and
crying.
at this point, you still presumably
think
don't
she's
know
alive
what's
somewhere, maybe.
happening.
Yeah.
Yeah,
and it's
she could still
scary.
be alive.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah, faking crying is way more suspicious than
Right.
just not.
Don't be suspicious.
Don't
Be suspicious. Back at the house, though, they ask Mark, they're like, hey, can we take a look-see through your truck? And he was like, sure, no problem. Under a big, huge thing of yellow pages, they find a brand new receipt for a brand new mattress that was purchased that fucking morning. The morning that Lori went
a
missing.
new mattress.
A new mattress.
Right before you move? Why would you do that? Like, because if I'm getting rid of my mattress and it's right before a move, that mattress is hanging in with me until the move. I'm tossing it. I'm buying a new one where we're going.
When I get there.
Because I'm not, why would I get a new mattress that I have to like pack?
Also, that's a lot of shit to do if you've also just murdered your wife.
Well,
like,
I mean,
buying a mattress and sheets.
Listen, he's not confessing to have, she's just missing. What were you doing the morning that your wife went missing?
Buying a mattress and new sheets right before we move. Again, like,
it's not.
It doesn't. The math ain't mathin'. This doesn't make any sense.
So again, they're like, "Do you mind, Mark, if we take another look-see through the apartment? If you wouldn't mind signing this consent to search, right?" He's like, "Sure. I have nothing to hide." So of course, the first thing they do is we go in. They're like, "Wow, brand new fucking mattress and old ass box springs. That's not something people do when they buy a mattress. They buy box springs all newsy together, right?
Yeah.
Huh? That's fucking sus." So she's like, all right. Her partner goes in, opens the drawer, finds a fucking knife with blood on it. And he's like, "I'm a hunter. Don't know what to tell you guys."
Why is there still blood on it?
In a drawer? Like
Next
where?
to the
In
bed.
the kitchen?
Next to the bed?
Yeah. You don't put your dirty hunting knife next to the bed,
nobody,
right?
never.
Listen,
That is
not a hunter. Don't know. Don't think it's the spot.
Been around hunters.
They have a place for their hunting
feel
gear.
like that's where like garage stuff.
And you like also.
Well, it's an apartment.
I've known hunters. Like, you're not putting your dirty knife away anywhere.
Well, you're not putting it away dirty. You would never.
That's what I mean.
Yeah.
Like, you would be clean.
That's exactly right.
It
You're
first.
absolutely
That's
right.
weird.
So they're like, okay, I think we found plenty on this.
We're plenty on this. Yeah.
On this consent form. Let's actually get a fucking warrant now. And so we can do a real fucking deep
Gotta
dive and
luminol
take this
that
shit
bathroom.
over, right?
Luminol.
Yeah.
So they go outside. She goes out back to the dumpster, which has freshly been dumped, but she does go and take a look inside just to see. Oh, hello and behold, there is plastic that would cover a mattress. There's the old bag for fresh sheets, all this stuff just hanging out in there, but nothing else. She's like, huh, that's interesting, Mark. She's like, do you know when they, pick up your trash? He goes, this grid is picked up on Monday morning.
Whoa.
This grid? She said grid.
Have no idea when our trash gets emptied at our apartment complex.
Yeah.
Especially what grid?
We wouldn't, because we live.
But this is an apartment complex too.
Yeah.
I mean, this is so weird, right? I mean, I know when our trash gets picked up, and it's pretty much every other day, I swear to God, I hear that goddamn truck come through. But if they ask me, I'd be like, I think it's Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday, sometimes on Fridays. It feels like every day.
Yeah,
I mean,
have no
I wouldn't
idea.
know.
I wouldn't know for sure. I wouldn't know like specifically a grid.
Yeah.
Yeah. Like a
I
route.
didn't even know that's what it was called.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I would have been like our trash route or something.
Yeah.
A grid.
Thank you. No clue. Anyway, so she's like, that's fucking real fucking weird. So she goes out. Hey, Sarge. Her sergeant's there.
Serge.
Hey, Serge. She's like, I think we need to call a halt at the dump. We need to take a look at the dump. He's like, absolutely not. He's like, do you know what it costs to shut down a dump?
You're
He's
just a silly little woman. We're not going to do that.
That's exactly right. He walks half a block up the street to go smoke his cigar because this is what he's akin to do. He goes in back of one of the LDS,
Is he a cartoon character of a sergeant? He's got a cigar.
He goes to the local LDS ward, goes out back, starts smoking his cigar, and he happens to see that their dumpster hadn't been dumped. And he looks in and he sees a fucking mattress where the pillow top has been cut off. He's like, so he calls Kelly up. He's like, what color was that box spring that you happen to see? What color was that? She's like, it was like a beige with like embroidered flowers on it. He's like, huh. He's like, we need to call the dump.
Oh, wow.
He's like, I have a brilliant idea. Let's call the dump.
And it was my idea.
No, I think he clearly was like, she called
was
that
right.
shit. She
Yeah.
got it. She, And this whole time too, poor Taylor's like the young buck who's like, oh man, if we're wrong here, we're going to be in big trouble, Like, and she's like, I know, but I'm right.
I love that.
So yeah, they find the mattress. They're like, this is getting more and more sus. So evening comes around. Kelly gets a little ring-a-ding on the call phone. And she goes, call phone.
The call phone.
Call phone.
The one you call.
Yes.
Yeah.
Dude, somebody did a TikTok the other day, and I don't know if you guys saw it.
The house phone one?
Yes.
It's killing me.
She was explaining, she was like, there needs to be a phone that anybody in the house could use.
Yeah, for
that's
emergencies.
just in your house.
That just
and I was like,
everybody's like, that's a house phone. It's a house phone.
I was like, what is happening? I was like, oh my God, I should put on some eye cream right now.
The way that people were like, how did they forget that there was a volcano that completely obliterated an entire town? People stopped talking about it. Like, it's only been how many years since everybody had a house phone? And people are like, we need this thing. I've never heard of it.
What would be great if it is thing? And I'm like,
I can't believe it's true. Look, we've taken a real detour, but I can't believe that that's true because I'm like, have you never seen a TV show?
Yeah,
like that
maybe
was
not
in
an
like the
older one.
90s. You've never seen an episode of Friends.
No, they live on YouTube.
You don't watch Friends?
You don't watch. You
don't watch Friends?
You've heard of this thing?
No. Who's that?
Oh my God,
Yeah.
man.
I mean, the young these kids these days. No, I think they're mostly like YouTube. Like they're not. I don't.
But any new, like even new shows, like there are new shows that take place in the. You didn't watch Stranger Things?
No.
Shut up!
I didn't.
Not you, but young people do. Like, come on.
Yeah.
No, I don't know. I don't know.
I just think it would be a good idea if there's just a phone anybody in the house could use.
It's actually a really smart idea.
Yeah, we should look at it.
She should look into that. All right. Anyway, Watch Command calls her on her ringy ding phone, and they're like, "Hey, so your dude Mark, we just got a complaint from the hotel he's staying at. He's actually running around outside naked."
Oh,
What?
That's a turn.
I mean, people handle grief differently, but that's a new one.
So she heads over and she's like, "Huh, okay, yeah, we're gonna arrest you." And he's like, "You guys need to take me to a mental ward. Like, you need to put me in a mental facility.
I see.
Hey, I need help." And she's like, first thing I noticed right away, she was like, "This ain't my first fucking rodeo. We deal with, being, a detective. I've seen a lot of things."
Right.
She's like, someone who's truly dealing with maybe like a manic episode or a mental crisis.
They usually tell you that they
need help.
also
Yeah,
they want to go to a mental institution.
Right.
if they're naked, they're not worried about wearing shoes. And that was the thing she noticed right away, is that he had flip-flops
Doesn't
on.
want to hurt his
He has
tootsies.
sandals on. So
Yeah.
he's cognitive enough to have thought about that, but
Right.
not.
Yeah.
Yeah. So she's already like, all right, fucking bullshit, but whatever. Great. So brother calls, or his brother comes, takes him. They do take him to the, a facility at the university.
Get him checked out.
Right. And next morning they go over to talk to Mark. First of all, Kelly was like, she was like beside herself. So I have to share this because I was like, this is shocking. She was like, we walk in the room, the kid's eating a fucking pizza, watching cartoons while we're out searching for his fucking missing wife. Like, she's just like beside herself. She's just like, this is bullshit.
Yeah.
Like, what the fuck, dude? Not even pretending. You're not even pretending well. Like,
Yeah.
Did you turn off The Simpsons before you went and answered the door?
But they come with the news. They had actually heard back from the University of North Carolina Medical School. They have no record of him or him ever being registered there or anything. So North Carolina's like, no, we don't know her.
I knew when you said he couldn't spell on call.
Yeah, I know.
Well, yeah.
He's not.
He's not going to medical school. He didn't pass an MCAT, I'll tell you that.
Oh no.
So then they also found out he is not attending the University of Utah like he had told his wife and his whole family.
What's he do all day?
What does he do?
They confronted Lori's mom. They're like, hey,
Just so
you know, Mark was not going to the University of. She's like, absolutely, yes, he was. She goes, I came up for his, not coronation,
Graduation.
commencement, his commencement. I came up for his commencement.
It was me and Elton John and Adele.
I came up for his commencement, right? And she's like, but you know what's so funny is I came up for his commencement. He was sick as a fucking dog that whole day. He actually couldn't make it to the commencement. He had to get dressed later, and we ended up taking pictures of him in his cap and gown, but he wasn't able to make it to the commencement. But she's still at this point like, but he would never. Not my teddy bear of a Mark.
My God. Yeah. Benefit of the doubt.
But she's also kind of starting to like, now the doubt has been planted, and she's like, has to question everything. She's like, who is this fucking guy? And like, what the fuck has been going on? She wants
people that say they're doing something for years.
It's the weirdest thing.
And then they're not.
The brother.
Like, what are you doing all day with your time?
The brother even said like, he was like, he was so certain too. He was like, yeah, I called him sometimes. He'd be at the university doing his, like at the library studying.
Just like wandering around the university.
And just like you have to be a master liar to keep up with that kind of thing, to know where you're supposed to be all the time so that when somebody does call you, you can be like, oh, I just got out of this class. This is where I am right now. Like to keep your stuff straight when you're not actually doing it.
That sounds exhausting.
It's so
that
exhausting.
much effort. If you put that much effort
into actually doing the thing,
he would have passed his MCATs, I'm betting.
Mm-hmm. He'd know how to spell oncology. I'll tell you that right now.
He sure would. And you're right.
He had no room in his brain for oncology.
Like,
he fucking was trying to keep all those lies straight.
He's like, I did not learn phonetical spelling. So I was like, yeah, no, oncology makes sense. Anyway, so they're just like, this whole marriage, by the way, is a lie. Right? Everything he's ever done is a fucking lie.
She was figuring it out.
And she's all starting to, like I said, like just kind of come to terms with like, you know, again, questioning everything, you know, not knowing what to believe at this point to this man.
Lori must have been, if she, Lori herself, if you're living with somebody and she is like a high achiever, high level, you can figure it out. You know what I mean? Even the best liars, like day in and day out, like you'll catch a whiff of that for sure.
Yeah. Well, and they're kind of starting to piece together the timeline. They're going through like, where were you? You know, now they're like kind of just going backtrack. Like, okay, we haven't found her yet. Where is she? They start to call off the search at the thing because they're like,
she's not
one of the things that we noticed also is that when they found her car, there was blood in the back seat. The seat had been pushed back. So there were things that now that they're away from the immediacy of this initial search, they're like, okay, we're not looking for a person. We're looking for a body.
Yeah.
And excuse me. So they actually have officers head out to the dump and start taking a look there. It's insane because the dump itself is it's wild. Like, so some of the notes that were on the show that I thought were wild. Landfill area where she was likely dumped based off of the dates in which she would have been dumped is about a 10-acre area.
Oh my God.
The Salt Lake City landfill got an estimated 4,000 tons of waste in just those 2 days in that spot.
Insane. 10 acres of dump
of just the spot. Just that part.
No.
Yeah. It wasn't the entire dump. It was that location because they rotate, right? So they rotate like in like a pattern of like where it's like a whole system, right?
Yeah. And sage capitalism is something else.
Yeah. So I was just like, that's fucking shocking. So what they ended up having to do is basically they have to have like something go in, take off like a big layer. Then they're like hand going through it all. They have like people volunteering, going through this dump, and it's fucking wild. Anyway, they're still trying to piece together this whole story. There is some evidence that they had gone to a 7-Eleven or whatever the night before. So there's some video evidence of her at the gas station. That's really the last time anybody's actually outside of Mark seen Lori, right? Mm-hmm. They also, now that they have a full warrant and are taking over his house, they found something else very interesting in the house, and that's a letter. And it's a folded up letter that has Mark's name on the outside, and when they open it up, it's a letter from Lori. And basically it says, hey, I know everything you've telling me is a fucking lie. And she had apparently called Chapel Hill and was like, hey, I want to talk to you guys about some, funding or whatever, like
for the move, for that kind of thing.
Well, no, it was for the school for
okay.
What am I trying to say? Like, I'm going to school, like
grant.
Like a
scholarship.
Yeah, basically financial aid. Thank you.
Oh,
she called the financial aid office and was trying
to
get.
That you said thank you and we didn't offer that to you at all. You're welcome.
It was close enough. She was going to call the financial aid office to talk to them, and again, they were like, "Yeah, I don't know her. So they're like,
They Mariah carried him.
It's a very, very dangerous thing to do, to confront somebody who's lying on something of that magnitude.
Who feels like their back's up against the wall, because if you're lying
That's
about
family
something,
annihilator shit.
Clearly.
Is what happens.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I mean, clearly.
Yeah.
Because he's obviously someone. I mean, doing this already is extreme. Like what he's doing is extreme.
Right.
Like that kind of maintaining that lie on that level.
Narcissism is overused these days, but that's a legit like.
He's
case
willing
of
to
that.
do a lot of things already to protect his
Correct.
lies. You know,
Correct.
he's willing to uproot his family. He's willing to do all of these things to protect his lies.
It's a lot. That's a big moving all the way to another state.
Right. Yeah. So, I mean, what else is he willing to do to protect?
And then what's your fucking end game? You're going to start practicing medicine without a medical degree?
I mean, that's what that Dr. Death guy did in Texas.
Just you're so into it. Like you don't know your way out of it. And like you said, once you've got yourself, and he probably was already starting to feel the pressure of being backed against the wall. So now not only are you backed against the wall because of all your doings, you've been caught by the person that's most important.
I feel like
she doesn't need you. Guess what?
Yeah.
Because she's a go fucking getter.
Yeah.
Right.
She doesn't. She sure
She
doesn't
had
need
to
you.
have been the one holding it down and paying all the bills
Clearly.
anyways.
Yeah.
Because
Clearly.
he's quote unquote going to school, meaning just walking around some university all day.
Yeah, I mean,
while
you know
she's
what?
fucking working.
I would have been calling about financial aid too, because I'm like, we're not getting it. Like, how, did he just explain that he had gotten like all full ride scholarships or something? Like,
Yeah.
yeah.
Who even knows,
What
honestly?
the fuck?
But so at this point, Kelly, the detective, is like, okay, this is a good LDS family. They're gonna want the truth to come out. They're gonna want to do the right thing. So she talks to his brothers, and she's like, "Listen, this is all the evidence we have stacked up against your brother. It's looking like this."
Right.
So the brothers, they go talk to him. He completely confesses. He's like, I did it. I killed Lori. He's like, it just...
He just folded immediately.
Folded immediately because apparently he just couldn't lie to his brothers. He can
lie to everybody else.
And they call his attorney and tell them about the confession right away because they're just like, of course this is going to go through court. So this is, but yeah. And so on August 2nd, he's arrested. And on August 9th, he is charged with first degree murder. On April of 2005, a year later, he's already confesses. He's I'm guilty, right?
Yeah.
So they're not going to do the full trial thing. He gets a sentence of the minimum for this is 6 years. So he got 6 years to life.
6 years for murder?
First
That's
degree.
the minimum.
So it's 6 years to life. However, he is not eligible for parole for he's not eligible for parole until like 2034. So it was quite a long time. So it was like a weird, I don't know if there's like a weird loophole thing that was like for like 6 years to life. But they're like, but we really mean life, guy. You know, I don't know.
Yeah,
but
if he was sentenced in 2005. So he technically was not eligible for parole for 29 years.
Yeah.
So, okay.
yeah, I know, because I was like, I'm sorry, six years for taking a full human life.
Yeah.
The other thing is too, is that they did end up finding, so this is, he'd already been arrested and charged by August 9th. They're still looking for this body. The family was like, we're never going to get this body. But the police were actually volunteering. They had like 13 officers who were volunteering to do this.
You don't want to think about your loved one
In
a dump.
Yeah. The family had already were like, well, we're never going to. So we're going to have a memorial. They did find her. October 1st. So 2 months after everything, you know, they found her once from starting to finish. But they didn't find enough of her. But they found her in the clothes that she was wearing in the 7-Eleven video. Basically, it was just the way that the guy described it was like, he's like, she was probably like 110, 115 pounds, and we maybe found 15 pounds of her. It was just awful. And they were like, they found like a jawbone with teeth that were like, that's how they were able to identify her. But the problem with not finding her more intact at this point really was that they weren't able to determine whether she was pregnant at the time, even though they have evidence that she was. They can't really prove it, right? So he wouldn't have been able to be charged for that. So that actually would have been even more time on the sentence as well. It's So this story is so fucking weird anyway, but to top it off, in 2006, he was found providing autographs and other items on a murder memorabilia site, which I'm sorry, fucking disgusting. Why is that even thing
Yes.
exist?
I thought that once you're convicted, you're no longer was
allowed
before
to
his
profit.
conviction.
This is 2006.
And he was convicted.
I think the law that you're
2005.
talking about didn't go into place until well after that. I think that's more recent.
Oh, okay.
Yeah. I think you're no longer allowed to profit off of
you're not.
your
I mean, because
crimes.
that's what happened with John Wayne Gacy. Like they were like,
Oh, you're
you're
right.
not allowed to, because he was making
When
money
was
off
that,
his
though?
paintings. I don't know when the law went into effect. I would have thought 2006 it was already in effect, but I could be
Yeah.
wung about that.
No,
But yeah, you're
yeah.
not allowed to profit off of.
Well, he got in trouble for it. So maybe that is the case, and that's why he was able to get in trouble
Yeah.
for it. He was also writing his quote life history. while
Nobody
behind
cares.
bars. Yeah, like
Yeah,
honestly, dude, nobody gives a fuck.
Yeah, we're not. I mean, maybe tell your like psychiatrists might care. People
Yeah.
who study the brains are still looking at John List and being like, how, why,
Right.
You know what I mean? Like
Yeah.
that kind of thing. So
Lori's family, though, in her honor, have created a scholarship fund for the University of Utah, in which goes to the school that she did graduate from, and in business, and specifically for women who are maybe at a financial disadvantage. So they have a whole scholarship set up for her.
Nice.
And they honor her every year. They said they go out on her birthday, December 31st, and like her family and a couple of her
New Year's Eve,
friends.
baby.
Yeah. So they still, honor her memory. Her mom is basically like, I forgive him, but it will always live with me, and I'll never heal from those wounds. Never.
I will never be able to wrap my head around people who lie about their whole life.
It's
like, to me, I don't
insane.
know how they don't crumble under the pressure.
Well, I think they do. I think that's
just-
what this
yeah.
is. I mean,
Yeah.
eventually you do.
Yeah.
You
Oh
can't.
my
you
gosh.
can't sustain that forever.
So dangerous. Yeah. If you ever discover anything like that, I think it's a very dangerous situation to be
confront
in.
the person.
Yes.
Yeah. It's kind of
Yeah.
just get out. Just get out.
Just get out.
Yeah.
I think it's hard though. If I found something, I'm that person who is a confronter. I'm like, I want to know what's going on. Tell me everything. What's happening here?
No, I think a lot of people are that way.
Yeah.
It's just like when you have the knowledge of like someone who's capable, it's not one lie. You know what I mean? Like it's a house of cards. It's a lot of lies. And I think that someone who's capable of doing that much of it is like, you gotta get away first.
Right.
Yeah.
Or at least make sure you talk to other people about it. Like I would call my mom. I really would. I'd be like, I feel like I would call her first. I'd be like, I found all this stuff out. Like, I don't know what to do.
Yeah.
What do I do?
Yeah, I'm the kind of person, and I'm the person who keeps it in and only addresses that person. I feel very funny about, because then what if I'm wrong? I'm that person who's like, well, what if I'm wrong? And then all of a sudden now everybody knows and thinks he's a piece of shit.
I get keeping things. I get keeping
it's not
things to
good.
yourself, but I'm like, if you find that many lies, I'm sorry, I'm talking to somebody, and you
Yeah.
should
It'd probably be
because-
Christina for me. I'd be like, girl,
Yeah, you got to, because
I need your earth brain.
how much quicker could they have gotten to like straight? Because if I had gone missing after I called my mom and I was like, he's lying about literally everything, didn't go to medical school.
I'd get out the binder that I've made for each of you and be like the Dateline binders.
Yeah.
And I'd be like, are my notes.
Yeah.
You go to the detectives and they're like, here's the research I've done so far. Push his glasses up.
And these are the pictures that have been approved for use.
Yeah.
Oh man.
Yeah, so we have
wow.
a missing file of
Yep.
photos,
Yes.
and we have a Dateline file of
That's
of photos.
right. That's right.
Wow.
Gotta be prepped.
Gotta be
wow. Yeah. Great story. Thank you for
Yeah.
telling us. I feel like that's just super, super valuable. I mean,
Listen, if it wasn't for that detective, Kelly,
he probably would have gotten away with it.
he might have. He really might have, because she was, when I say she was dogged, I meant it. She was going after that.
Wow.
She saw the flags. She was counting them along the way, and she was,
I wish you could be a detective without being a cop.
Yeah.
Right?
Don't we all?
Yeah. Anyways. What are you guys watching today?
So I've been watching Shrinking.
Oh, I heard it's so funny.
I
So
watched the
good.
first episode.
It's so good.
really
I
interesting.
really like it. It's Jason Sudeikis and Harrison Ford is so good in it.
I love
He really
so
is
funny.
Yeah.
He's great in it.
Apple is putting out some prestige. Because did you watch Severance?
Severance was incredible.
Severance was fucking
They
great.
got robbed at
Yes.
the Golden Globes.
Yes, they did.
Robbed. That show was so good. Apple TV is weird because it's either I literally have never heard of it, even though it has Oscar winners in it. Because
Right.
there are shows on
Yeah.
there with like, there's a show with Julianne Moore. There's a show with like Nicole Kidman. I'm like
Right.
literally couldn't tell you the first thing. But then every now and again, like
Yeah.
once every couple of months, they
I
put
loved
out
The
a
Morning
show that
Show.
is so fucking good. I felt that way about Severance. Shrinking is just the comedy
to
in
watch
it
it.
is really good. Jason
Yeah.
Sudeikis is really funny
Wait,
in it.
Or Jason Segel.
I was
my
like-
God,
I was like,
Jesus.
Jason Sudeikis is not. in it.
Whoopsies.
Yeah.
That's a different Apple plus Apple TV show. Jason Segel, so funny.
He's hilarious. I love him.
He's great. The ensemble cast is great.
Good.
And Harrison Ford is
Delightful.
he's delightful.
I love it.
He is. Yeah.
Oh, I definitely want to watch that. I have been watching, or I just watched, and it was a really quick one, but D.I. Ray. It was on, it's a British show, but it was on PBS.
Okay.
It's only 4 episodes. Really good.
Nice.
Really, really good.
Love
Female
PBS
detective.
masterpiece.
Yeah.
And yeah.
Female detective show, and it's just really good. It's got a lot of nuance. You know, I love a British procedural.
Me too.
Yep.
Yeah.
Me too.
Well, I think you and I are watching Last of Us,
Oh yeah.
but another thing that we started doing, because I'm like, if I watch it right before bed, because we wait until Monday nights. Monday nights we watch Juan Oliver, which is what we call John Oliver. So we watch Juan Oliver, and then after that we watch Last of Us. But then I'm like, so we need to pick me up.
Yeah.
Party Down is back.
Oh, yeah.
And we watched the first episode of that this week. I am so excited that show is back. For anybody that's ever worked in food service or catering, Party Down just holds a special place in my life. It's very triggering, but at the same time, just
Perfect.
wonderful. So
I want to go back and watch it because it's always one of those shows that I'm like, this should be on my list. I want to watch it, and it's kind of just been one of those things that never
it just
gets picked.
launched so many people.
Yeah.
Where
Like, everybody on there.
Yeah. It's if you've worked food service, I can't recommend Party Down enough. I have worked catering with all of those people here in LA. So love it. Love it. Well, if you guys have something that we should watch or read, or you've got a terrible date story to share with us, go to our one-stop shop of a website. It's myworstdatepodcast.com. And we love you so much. Cheers.
This is a Glass Box Media podcast.